I know now that my wife has become host to a Kandarian demon. I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
It's truly frightening.
This is
Because you're home.
oh man, I got this. Take one for me too, man. Yeah.
I hate clowns. I this was not one of my picks. I'm just going to start off with that. But what's up, everyone? I am Joe, and this is Three Corners of Horror live on Horror Fiend TV. Thank you for joining us for this review of Clown in a Cornfield. Let me introduce you guys to my brothers here. If this is your first time, if not, thank you for joining us. JR, how are you doing tonight, bro?
Come on, who doesn't love clowns? I mean, yeah, this is interesting. It was actually my pick. This movie was talked about a lot and social media, and me and Rick actually went to go see it, so we had a lot of perspective after watching the film. But
we had
yeah,
quite the experience.
Oh yeah, we did. Let's talk clowns. I mean, is it clown or clowns?
Clown with a Z. There you go.
And what's up, Ricky? How you doing tonight?
What's up, Joe the
sorry I can't
psychologist?
join you for a beer tonight. You know, I got a
Yeah,
week.
you blew up your spot. You don't gotta blow up your spot. It's all right, man.
It's all
Listen, man,
good.
it's all good, man. I'll be the alcoholic tonight, but I'm doing good. Thank you for once again providing us with epic content to sift through and give our opinion on. So let's go and look at this. Look at this, Joe. This is for you, Joe. Here we go, Joe. Here we go. My devilishly handsomes. I love y'all. I hate clowns. Why does everyone hate clowns? GR, you hate clowns, GR?
I don't mind clowns, man.
I mean, either. All right, cool. So it's 2 against 2. Well, picky about my clowns.
Wait, hold on. She likes Terrifier, Art the Clown, so
It's kind of yeah, no, that's a really.
She likes the clowns that likes to like defecate all over walls
Yeah, I
and
know.
shit. So hey, I like art too. Don't get me wrong.
All right, so with that, tonight we're going to be talking about, well, first of all, if you live in Kettle Springs, Missouri, make sure to stay on your best behavior because you're going to meet Friendo. I will definitely die in this movie. But in this little small town, which once flourished, there is a secret that has been keeping, I don't know, people dying and missing in this town, and the secret comes out. So with that, tonight, it is Clowns in the Cornfield, released in 2025. It is directed by Eli Craig. The names, it's hard to remember them, but I do remember Kevin Durand as Arthur Hill, Katie Douglas as Quinn, and Carson McCormack as Cole Hill. So with that, JR, let us know the meat and potatoes of what you thought about Clowns in a Cornfield.
Well, I gotta say this is this was my pick, and like I said, it was like loud talk about social media about this. This film does people do and if I was to say how to best describe this film, it's a film that I feel like had a hard time finding itself exactly what it was trying to do. By what I mean that is you had some comedy elements that felt forced versus you had some, like Ricky Grimes will agree talked about this, we mentioned this, that had a good foundation for something. And I think it lost itself in trying to find out exactly where it wanted to go. I mean, it's basically a referendum of this generation against the older generation, which seems to be something that's coming up a lot in films. And this is the film that basically is what it's truly about. But for me, it's the kills were fun. I mean, this is the only one I'll spoil. But I love when, I forgot her name, but she got killed by the pitchfork, and then Quinn takes the pitchfork out and kills the count, and she goes, "I hate you, Quinn," and the dude goes, "Me too." That was the best pop I had in the movie. But yeah, I found that this film was trying to define itself and was stumbling on exactly what it was trying to do. And I think that's where, if it would have just chose be a comedy or be more serious, I think that was where this decision wasn't truly made in this film. But yeah, overall, I think it was an interesting film. I think it had a good concept. I had a hard time, to be honest, liking Quinn. There was something about her that didn't connect. And to be honest, she was just your typical spoiled type of brat who, let's be honest, she was using her situation to portray herself as a victim, where the father, you kind of feel bad for him because he's just trying to, start a new life. But yeah, overall, I just think that's the best definition of this movie for me. It was good concept, but was trying to find itself during the watching of the film. It didn't know where it wanted to go.
Like, what was it about the concept you didn't like?
I like the concept. I thought the concept was good.
I'm sorry, not I mean, because I literally in my head I was like, okay, hold on to that for a minute. Why did, well, I guess, what was it about the concept that they didn't deliver on?
They should have gone away from the comedy element. Focus on the serious element. Focus on the fact that you have this small town where people just lost their livelihood. People are angry at this group of kids. Focus on that aspect of the film. There was no need for the comedy elements. And the comedy elements, I mean, I feel like they really tried hard with Quinn, and it was really unneeded in some of the. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love comedy and horror when it feels right, when it doesn't feel forced. And I feel like there was a lot of forced comedy in this that took away from the film. I mean, you had, not for them, when the minute you hear Founders Day, you knew something was up. You knew there was some meaning behind this town. And I feel like it should have focused on that and more background of why Founders Day was so important. Besides, the fact that the town was, discovered, but still, too much comedy that didn't feel natural.
All right. I don't want to interrupt while he's looking down. Oh, you're muted.
Oh, he pulled one of mine. Yeah.
You're still muted. There you go.
I was conducting business. No, I agree with everything JR said. The comedy in this movie completely took me out of it, and I don't mind when a movie is going to go the comical route. Like, I hate to bring it up, but Terrifier has a lot of comical elements in it, but the comedy itself is with art and his mannerisms, his facials, his expressions. It ain't with the characters. There's a deep story within Terrifier that a lot of people tend to overlook, but in this film, all the comedy is with these characters. And GR didn't like Quinn. I didn't like any of them. I didn't like anybody in this movie. The dad was probably the only likable one here, to be quite honest with you. And of course, Kevin Durant. He's. I mean, come on. Surprisingly, he was in it, and it's crazy because we're spoiling the movie. So if you haven't seen it, guys, go watch it. Then come back and watch this on replay. But interesting. Kevin Durant was one of the front runners to play Negan, right, before Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And watching his performance here, he sounded like a Jeffrey Dean Morgan portraying Negan in The Walking Dead. I don't know if it was a southern accent or the way he just. He had this bombastic, charismatic personality and just throwing himself out there. He looked like some weird demented Elon Musk with that makeup on at the end too. This guy was great. And it's funny because I asked GR, like, GR's movie's over? He goes, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck happened? What happened to the main guy? He got away. What do you mean? What the fuck? He got away? All right, but that shit killed me, man. The jokes, I'm gonna get into my cons now. I'm gonna do my pros first. I like the army of friendos. I love that. I think that was a cool twist, and I like the fact that it was the town folks, and like GR mentioned before, it's the old versus the young, the new generation versus the old generation, and I think that was a pretty cool. It's done before, probably. I can't really think of anything right now, but I'm assuming it was. But here, it did make sense in the context of the film. But it was a little hard to follow, in my opinion, because it starts off in the 90s. And I swear to God, it didn't say anything about, did it say anything about, 10 years, 40, 30 years later, whatever? Did it? Yeah, I must have missed that shit.
Yeah, 91, and then it was, 10 years later.
All right, I missed that because I'm still thinking it was the 90s at one point. Like, what the fuck's, what happened here? What happened to the 90s? What's going on? But, first initial reactions was that I did like that the villains had a lot of personality to them. Will Sasso, his appearance here was a nice welcome as well. I know when he came on, me and JR both gave a little chuckle, like, this guy's here. And Otis, the shopkeeper, whatever, I don't know why he made me laugh. It's just, and he was one of the friendos. He got fucked up at the end too.
He did, man.
But yeah, quick and the short. The violence was cool. Nothing, it's nothing that's gonna blow your mind because we've seen so much like hard, gruesome shit as far as practical and in the slasher realm. I mean, Terrifier just upped the game so much that everything, it's hard to keep up with it. And I hate keep bringing up Terrifier. That's not my intention.
Standard.
But it's because the practical gore effects in that movie are so insane. Mind you, the Winnie the Pooh Bloody Honey 2, Part 2, I hated the Part 1, but Part 2, it felt like a Terrifier film as far as the kills. So a lot of people are upping up their kills, and in this movie, I think they could have pushed the envelope a bit further. I agree with Joe with some of the comedy bits. You know, when the clown dies right next to the other girl, and she's like, "I hate you, Quinn." He's like, "Me too." And he dies. That was probably the only practical joke I like. But come on, man. Like, I will give you one example. The scene with Tucker, he got a friend though in his house, and he's like, "Oh, you can't prank a prankster." This guy just walking around his house with a water gun. Was that supposed to be funny? I didn't. That's my point. Like, I didn't like stuff like that. I was completely uninvested up until that point. But all right, Joe, I'll give it to you. So I got a lot more to say, but let's keep it rolling.
Well, let's hit the comments up real quick if there's just a.
Yeah. Well, I didn't invent any of these, so we might get a lot of haha. I do love the shirt, JR. Yes, sir. All right, Mama. Oh, Mama Rose. Mama is here.
Mama
Hello.
Hey.
What up? What up? How are you, Selena V? Hi, my fellas. I don't like clowns. I've always had the clown phobia ever since the original. Joe, what is that called?
What? Oh,
Fear of clowns.
shit. I forgot. I think I said it before, but I forgot what the name is.
All good, brother. All good. Hi, Mom. All right. Hi, Selena. Lexi absolutely hates clowns, all because of Pennywise and that clown in Poltergeist. But loves art. Go figure. That's what we had mentioned. The clown in Poltergeist. Very cool shout out. From my childhood, that one still sticks to my craw. Hello, Diana Gabriel. Hello, Di. What's up? All right, we're going. Yeah, I'm picky about my clowns. I love art. Love the story. Pennywise. Ooh, really? The story? I don't know. Joe got something to say about that. Look at Joe. And I love Killer Clowns. I'm a mess. Killer Clowns is completely. It's such a charismatic film that sticks with you for a very long time because it's so much fun. That's a good comedy horror, by the way.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Technically, your fault,
yeah.
Mom. You showed me
Yeah.
Pennywise at 5 years old. 4. You were 4. You were 5. 5 years old for The Exorcist.
Nice.
Holy
That
shit.
explains a whole hell of a lot.
Woo, I don't know what I was watching at 5, but it wasn't no Exorcist. Mom's the worst. All right. But you are afraid today. Nope. Desensitized. All right. Thank you guys for your comments and chipping in. If you guys want to keep on providing to the conversation, please do. Joe, I'll give it to you, my brother.
All right, so I sat there and I'm like, all right, I'm a little confused. And I didn't know nothing about this. So this is based on a book from, Adam Cesare. And I don't know, it felt kind of like a I don't know if you know what a movie is, young adults. Because the way that the kids were, and it was meant to be done that way from what I read. That the kids are, it's how kind of kids are nowadays, and like some of the younger generations finding this is how they are, this is how they talk. But I don't know, it just felt like as I'm sitting there, I'm like, this feels a little too teen slasher for me, and not by teen slasher, like a kitty. Except you had some good kills in there. Hold on, I want to find out her name.
Which one?
The one that Adam, that you had mentioned, the friend that got killed, because I had loved how she had said right before she gets killed.
Oh, Janet, right?
Is it Janet?
The blonde?
Janet? No, it was the black girl.
The one that with the chainsaw? She got killed with the chainsaw?
No, she got pitchforked.
No, that's Janet.
That's Janet.
So we got
Janet.
the chainsaw.
All right,
It was
then
a
that's
chainsaw.
that. Oh, boy, she.
Well,
oh.
so
That was a good kill though. I like that.
No,
it
but
was
she
a good
was.
kill,
Oh
but she
my
was
God.
so annoying.
They
But
overdid
so-
it with that character.
She literally, you already knew it was going to happen because she goes, I feel like I'm in a 70, 80 slasher. And she looked around and she goes, I'm going to be the next to die. And I'm like, well, and I get it was trying to make fun of the trope by putting the
And
trope
who
in
was
your
the first
face.
one to die too?
You know, so it called out the trope by doing the trope. So when when it showed there was a bunch of clowns, I went, see, I was right. And Rick's been correcting my grammar on the movie. It's clowns in a cornfield. You know, I didn't know shit about it. But my ESPN must have known because I kept saying clowns, and you're like, it's clown. And as soon as it happened, I was like, I was right.
I
It's
know what you're
clowns in a
saying,
cornfield. No, I know.
but
But
I'll give you that one.
and then when you got the whole town thing, it did make me think of Dark Harvest.
Oh my God! Thank you. When
And
JR mentioned Founders Day again,
yeah,
it
we
clicked
just
in my
did
head like,
that, And then the thing is, you also had Thanksgiving, which used a character, around a holiday. That did better. Like I was trying to, like, put it with other ones around the genre that it's catering to, which is the younger genre. But Will Sasso, when he showed up, I mean, I watched George and Mandy's First Marriage. He's in that one. I mean, the dude's from on Mad TV. He's fucking hilarious. But
that's
to
a
see him
killer
here,
Steve Austin impression too.
oh yeah, he's hilarious. And so just to see him as a bad guy, but the problem is, as I kept watching it more, like it was very telegraphed. Like I was like, all right, I see what's going on. It's the town. Now I did like one thing though, is the fact that the reason that it's happening is because they just wanted to keep the town as it was. So when certain elements or certain generations or groups were trying to change that or impose on that, they got rid of it. That's pretty
Gonna
fucked up.
gentrify it, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up that they did that and then
Yeah.
did it all as clowns. But to be able to convince your whole entire town to go and commit murder, like, I don't know, I would have liked a little bit more on the reason, I guess, how they decided they were going to come up. I know they mentioned it, but how has it been happening in the town this whole time? Has it been since like grandfather? Because I think it was the grandfather that pretty much created the town, right?
Well, yeah, we know why the mayor did it was for that sweet insurance money, because he burned the factory.
Well, he
down.
burned it, but
Yeah.
the other generations before.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
we're
gotcha,
doing
gotcha.
it for the town.
You're right.
Whereas
you're
he did it for financial gain.
That's a good
And yes,
question. I would like to know that too.
so, and then yes, at the end they leave, and hello, the fucking actual bad guy. Nobody's gonna go look for him here, but I guess there is the book is a trilogy, so I'm assuming that's why the character got away, because it'll probably tie into I don't know anything about the books. I don't read them. I mean, the only clown book I ever read is It. Just took a really long time. That shit was like this big.
I'll be honest. I don't know how a movie like this could be a book and be interesting. It's a slasher movie, and it's hard.
It is.
Unless they removed a lot of interesting aspects from the book itself, I just can't see it.
I'm sure it's probably not as
This is
comedic.
paint by numbers stuff. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, for me, I don't know. Adam and I were like, "What'd you think?" I was like, I swear to God, if Ricky and JR say, "Oh my God, this was great, I loved it," I'm like gonna shoot my head off because I was like sitting there going, "There's no way that they're gonna love this." The little slasher parts were good, but for me, I didn't really walk out all happy about the movie, to be honest with you. So, I mean, those are my thoughts on that.
can I say one thing too? I wanted to reiterate this. I had a bit of a Mandela effect in the beginning of the film, and Joe, this is because of you. You made me watch Leprechaun for Holiday Horror, and I could have swore
It's
the
like
when
torture.
it wasn't as bad as I originally thought, but let me not digress. When the dad, I forgot his name already, but he goes with his daughter Quinn. They move into this town. They find his house. She hates it. He's a doctor. He's moving in. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this the fucking plot to Leprechaun?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I'm not wrong.
You're not
with
the only
that.
wrong. No.
Okay.
Because as soon as she walked in, just the reaction I got.
I swear, I'm like,
it was.
I'm like, did I see this? Did I fucking?
Yeah.
Is this what's going on?
Young
Leprechaun.
teenager who got dragged out into the boondocks,
And
as
she
soon
was
as
the
gets
worst.
there,
I agree with
complains.
JR. She was the worst. I did not like. I don't
Well,
like
and
anyone in this movie.
Not for nothing, but I think it was like 3 days. Like the movie
And
took
then
place
all
in
this-
3
Oh
days.
yeah, and she's kissing
That's-
the dude on day one.
Like, and then by day 3, it's almost like
Oh god,
she-
she was
but-
sex starved.
I like the whole, like, this was just a lot. It shoved into.
And she's
3
in high school?
days.
What that was high school
High
people?
school. Those are high school
school.
kids.
What school now? Yo, listen, you go to a high school now, kids don't look like this, right?
No.
Why are they like? I don't want to be the old guy
Well, because
talking
it's-
about this.
No, but I mean, it's just you have to make sure that the aesthetics.
But kids in high school, they're minors, and these are kids are over here having sex and stuff. Like,
But it's a small
Alchemy.
town, so
It
I
is a
think
small town,
yeah.
so
They had
But
nothing
and
else
it-
better to do.
yeah. But she just got there. That's all I'm saying. All right, so let's go ahead and give your rating, unless anybody else has any last.
I'll save my final thoughts to the rating. That's fine.
You know what's crazy though, real quick though, is like when I was looking at the Friends, I got like, all right, so if Clueless was a horror movie, these characters would be Stacey Dash, because the girl reminded me a lot of Stacey Dash, and then I forgot her name, Janet, reminded me a lot of Alicia Silverstone's character a little bit. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
look,
They're
it's
probably
Clueless.
going for that. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, they took your typical tropes for kids in
Reasons.
high school, the problem kids too. I mean, let's be honest. I felt bad for the teacher in the beginning of the film. He was trying to teach a freaking class, man, and they did everything possible just to put them on social media, which is what this generation.
And
does
that's
now,
another
which-
thing, GR. Yeah, the way they portrayed these students and friends as YouTube content creators was so lazy. You saw how they were they were just filming videos, and it looked cheesy. Like they didn't know what really goes into making these videos. I don't know. That's just because we do this in a sense, and we're around people that have larger channels that do stuff like this. It's just if they want to make them like YouTubers, make it more realistic. I feel like it was just thrown in there just to give a reason for them to be recording these videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I don't
hashtag Chag SDX.
That did it much better. That felt they
Yeah.
felt real.
Yeah.
Here it felt fabricated. That's the problem.
Well, I think the problem is the fact that the Quinn character, usually the main character, is the one that you have sympathy for, and she was so disliked because.
Pathetic.
Constantly
Yeah, her-
disobeying her dad.
Yeah.
And like come on.
And like she thought it was cool the whole time. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. Really? My dad's gonna kill me. Well, obviously you don't think he's gonna kill you if you keep doing this shit over and over again.
Yeah.
You know?
She comes home after being intoxicated with some drunk guy driving, and she gets mad at her dad for getting mad at her. Like I can't.
Mhm.
I'm glad I don't got kids, bro.
See, all right. There's one before we go into the rating. There's one thing I gotta ask Joe. Did you see it coming with the whole Cole angle it took on him?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was so obvious.
They gave it away early. Yeah.
Yeah, too
totally.
early. I mean,
Yeah,
too
no.
early. And I think that's another thing that took away. Is you're doing all these things to try to cater to, I understand the base you're catering to, but it's a horror movie. I feel like this film had the foundation to create something fun and exciting, especially with the fact that the townsfolk were doing it. I'm sorry, I wanted to see more of Will Sasso in the clown outfit because he was such an ass. like the whole time, that Kevin Durant is talking, Arthur is talking, he's there like, can we just
Can
get this
we-
over and done with?
Can we just get this over with? You can tell that I got a hot pocket waiting for me back at
Yeah, I
home.
mean, I think if there was more focus on his character, it would have been more fun. It's like this is one of those movies that, all right, you know what? Screw the kids, focus on somebody like Will Sasso's character. I think it would have been more fun to see from his angle because all the scenes that he was in the film were actually fun, and he commanded the screen when he was. I mean, think about it. He arrested the girl, he arrested the Cole, and the girls are. You really gonna leave us here? Yeah, sorry. He gets
Well,
in the car and takes
that's
off.
the scene that gave it away to me that
Yeah.
he's in on it when they
Yeah.
said why only him, why they took only him. I was like, okay, he's one of them.
That's all I had to say.
Well, what's your score?
See, this is one of these films I wanted to like, and because the fact that, like I said before, it didn't know where it was going, I think it was a major problem in this film. Maybe the book is different. Maybe the book doesn't have the comedy elements, but maybe because the fact that here we go with with these companies, they want to just put what's out there and try to cater to, certain group. But I'm not dismissing the group, but by doing that, you lost the movie in the process. I mean, some of the kill scenes were cool. The one kill scene that was I'm like, really? It was one where what's his name? I got it here too, where he's lifting weights. And I'm sitting there like, that's the best you got to kill this dude off.
And
I mean,
I thought about the girl who got it in A Nightmare on Elm Street when she was doing the weights. I saw that scene. That I thought about that scene.
yeah, it was just like
I thought of
I,
Final Destination with the guy pumping the weights, and I think it was part 2, right, or 3, one of them. It was
Right.
yeah,
3.
it was.
Yeah.
It felt like a lazy kill. There were some lazy kills in this film. And there were some kills like I like the chainsaw one. I thought it was pretty cool, especially after she's on the ground. He just keeps going to town on her and stuff, and you see her leg twitch. I thought it was cool. I like the scene where, Janet gets killed, and I hate you, Quinn. Me too. I mean that was the best scene in the whole film. But it's like you had a main character you disliked. You had a father figure who was crapped on the whole film. I didn't like the friends. It was just too cliche, and I felt like it could have been a lot better. I'm gonna give it 2.5.
You don't like Russ Jr.? You don't like him?
Nah, I like it. Dude, there was. I mean, Will Sasso was my favorite character in this whole film. And I want to see more of him. I mean, dude was like, he walks into the diner and he basically talks his way into sitting down to have, to eat with them. But I think they could have did a little bit more. I mean, if the focus was more on the father, and this is another thing that's happening in a lot of horror films lately, is they changed the dynamic of the two people. Before it was always a mother and a child. Now they're going the other direction with a father and a daughter. I mean, how many films have we seen this year? What was it? There's quite a few that now the focus is on a father who's trying to be a father to a daughter.
Single dad that they lost their mom. Yes.
And it's
There's
getting
an
too
epidemic of
repetitive.
that going on.
Yeah, it's getting too repetitive, and there's not much of a foundation. This one, I mean, we found out that the mother OD'd from what? What did she OD? It was what? I mean, the first thing I thought was like, all right, it must have been fentanyl because that's what they're going to use for now. But yeah, this had opportunities to be a lot better. Arthur Hill, Kevin Durant could have been, him and Will Sasso could have been used a lot more, and I feel like their screen time was limited, even though they did good for the time they were given. Like the one scene I like with Kevin Durant where he's talking shit about Cole, he's looking up and he bats his eyes real fast as he's talking to him, about killing him. But yeah, overall 2.5.
All right, Rick.
I like how JR or Joe, one of y'all mentioned Thanksgiving. Joe, right? That was you?
Yeah.
No.
This movie reminded me so much of that. I mean, from like the person moving into town, or just having that group of friends, not moving in necessarily, but having that group of friends. There was even a parade scene in here, and it's just so much of that. And because I just saw that recently, I'm like, oh man, is this gonna be the new thing for slashers? Like JR said, the single dad with the daughter, the group of friends, they're outcasts or the delinquents, and they get caught into this web of this. They're in the killer's way essentially, or they're targeted for a specific reason. And I'm like, oh man, I think as far as the violence, they could have pushed the envelope so much further. Like I mentioned before, like if you're gonna have a slasher film now, you gotta step up your game. If a film like Thanksgiving and Terrifier 3 can get released in the theater, and Terrifier's gets be really successful, then there's no reason why you can't add a lot of gore. You can't say no more, it's because we want to make money. No. It's how you present it, man. And here, the scene with the guys lifting the weights, like GR said, they did a cutaway and the guy's head popped into the box. I'm like, God, this is so like 1980s like violence. Like really, like if this was like now, let's say if this was Eli Roth doing this, he would have showed the fucking guy's head being completely like severed from his fucking neck. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just too much of that. But I did like I like the fact that we get to see how the young generation now sees like rotary phones, for example, and stick shift. I did like that. That if I'm gonna say anything positive, because I didn't hate the film, but if I'm gonna say something positive, I did like that, and I liked how they paid it off at the end with Quinn learning how to dry stick. That was, at least they paid it off. And like I said, I liked her dad when he was caught in that situation when he had to like either save the guy or. He just stabbed the dude in the fucking neck. And he was like, oh, hold on. Let me go get somebody, hold the thing still. And the guy pulls it out. Oh, Mom, you're going to die now. I told you not to take it off. I don't know. That stuff did land for me. But other than that, all the other jokes did not. This movie, it's a 3 for me. I didn't hate it. And I think it is a movie that it is enjoyable because it's not boring or anything like that. If you like horror films, but you don't want them to be overly like gratuitous, I think a lot of people would like this. this is a film for teenagers. Let's be real. At least for me, it's not marketed towards me. This is marketed towards younger fans of horror, and you can tell by just by everything we talked about. It's not made for like older fans that want a bit more, punch into their movies. This is made for the younger generation. Like this generation's like, I don't know, Black Christmas. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like that was when people watched that. It wasn't adults watching it. It was teenagers. Friday the 13th. It wasn't adults that were going crazy for it. It was teenagers. That's what we get. A lot of people don't really understand that, and they forget that they think that all the adults when they flock to the movies to see Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween. It was all horny, drunk, high teenagers. You know what I mean? So this movie with the just the content, in the movie, with all the social media stuff and the way they speak and making fun of like rotary phones and shit like that. This is for kids. Let's be real. It's not for me. So it's a 3. It's not terrible, but I think, like I said, if this was a book, I can't fathom reading a book and this is it. Because there's no substance here. It's just, it is what it is. I've seen this a million times before. And that's the thing. If you've seen horror movies like we've seen all this shit plenty of times before. So you gotta be a bit better. But I did like the Army of Friendos. That I will say. That was cool. And that when that one DJ came out there, it reminded me of someone that me and Joe would hang out with, smoking the dude. Like, what the fuck? You got the crossbow to the dome piece. So I did like that. But yeah, man, I would. It's a 3. Just I would wait for it. Honestly, on Shudder, I would wait for it. That's my recommendation.
All right. Mine is a 2.5, and that's about all I have to say about the movie, actually. I didn't have anything else to say about the movie.
Fair enough. We got some comments here.
Yep.
You could talk. Hold on. I don't know. I'm trying to.
All right. Well,
vet these.
we're gonna change up the topic a little bit here. So, we're already in May. 4 months have gone by. The year has started out strong with some movies, and some movies have kind of flopped here, and some have really floundered. So I just wanted, now that we're basically 4 months in, nothing in this month, so just the first 4 months. I'm just curious, what was your surprise? Not your favorite, the surprise one for you, and which one was the one that so far has disappointed you? Rick, I'll go to you first.
Lexi loves Leprechaun. The movie that surprised me the most was Companion. Companion to me was awesome. It was fun. I found like no real flaws in that film. I didn't give it a 5 because it's not like it blew me away or anything like that, but it was a cool film, a nice concept that relates to where the world is heading today. So it was pretty modern, up with the times, but not in a way where it's hitting you over the head with it. Like I mentioned, like they never really talked about the guy's talking car, for example. They didn't really. It was just there. So I like that they didn't like have to walk us through and hold our hand and explain to us what it was. That's just the world that the world where that particular story takes place in, and it was fun. I had no bad things to say about that film. It was a great cast, and it's a comedy. That's to me how you do a comedy within horror. You don't do it like The Clown in the Cornfield. That's really very amateurish in my opinion, man. Yeah. Whoever wrote those lines, shame on you. There's so many bad jokes in there. But Companion, so if Sinners wasn't out this year, Companion would have probably been so far up until right now in May. It would have been my favorite film I've seen so far this year. I've said that before. I said that during the review as well, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Companion is my pick, man. That's my pick.
And the disappointment?
Well, for me, no movie that I was looking forward to. Really, honestly, that's the bum. That's the bad thing about this year so far. Nothing is really. Like I love Sinners, but it's not like a movie I was waiting for. But if I'm gonna say a disappointment that I saw was Death of a Unicorn, because they had the cast behind it, and the story was pretty original, and it had like I loved like, I mean the cast in it was great, but Paul Rudd was so like, I don't know if he was asleep during this or the material they wrote. He was not funny at all. This is the one movie where he in my opinion just flopped. He brought the film down in my opinion. Just wasn't funny. But everyone else around him was good. But this is the Jenna Ortega effect for me, man. Like, she needs to start doing different roles. She's gotta stop being the daughter of, like, GR. We just said it. You just, a father with a daughter with a mom that passed away. I didn't even think about it until
Yep.
right now.
Yep.
She needs to stop taking roles like this. She needs to already take more of an adult role. She's an adult, man. She gotta stop playing these younger characters, and stop being so like emo. You know, like that's her strength. I get it, but she needs to branch out. It's getting old, and I love Jenna Ortega. I love her, but between her and Paul Rudd in this movie, I just, oh my god, it killed me. It was such a disappointment because the concept was fucking there. I forgot his name. Who plays GR, you know, he plays Adam Warlock.
Will
that
Poulter.
Yeah,
Will
sorry,
Poulter.
I should have asked Joe. Will Poulter. I loved Will Poulter in this movie because he was more deadpan with his jokes, like talking about NFTs and stuff. I liked him a lot in this movie, but everyone else, that was the issue. But that was my disappointment because the concept was there, man, so there, and unfortunately, they fumbled it before the touchdown.
All right. So I'll check back in another 4 months to see if those two remain the surprise and your disappointment.
I like
What about
that.
you, JR?
I'm gonna go piggyback off Rick. As far as the surprise is companion, I feel like companion is 2025's version of when we watched Totally Killer, which is 2024. We did not see coming, and Totally
Yeah.
Killer was amazing.
Oh, loved it.
Which is one of our favorites of 2024 because we didn't have we didn't know what we were watching. We didn't have
And
any
it's the
expectations for it.
80s.
Yeah.
Joe.
It was good. And Companion was I mean, I did not expect that movie. Like when I didn't read anything about it, so we are going to review it. I'm like, you know, once you hear Android, you know, because the disappointment of Megan, and then you know we got you know the Megan Fox film. I forgot the name of it. That like, oh, here we go with the you know
subservience.
Yes, I'm saying like, oh god.
Yeah, I don't watch her films.
No, but you know, as far as like you know the surprise one, that's definitely a surprise one. As far as disappointment, I'll be honest, for me, it was Wolfman. Because
I almost picked that.
You had the foundations for what could have been, and I am a
Good shout.
massive fan of films about isolation, and the fact that you had these beautiful setting and you just gave us a shitty movie that you ruined the potential, and it had a great cast. I can't knock any acting. The acting was great. It was just a shitty ass script, and it was bad. I mean, we were looking forward to it. I know we talked about it, you know, prior to go watching. Like, yo, this, you know, maybe this is going to be good. But man, that was just a bad disappointment because once again, you had everything laid out for you to have something great, and you dropped the ball on it, and it just was once again something where I don't know if it was the studio or just lazy writing, or they just said, "Fuck it, let's just try to make a movie." That was such a bad disappointment. And, you know, definitely Death of a Unicorn. That was just. And as far as Jenna Ortega goes, she needs to call Anya and be like, listen, can you give me advice to be you? Because that's the one thing that made Anya. Anya started out as a child, you know, and the witch. And look where she's at now because
she needs to grow up with these
elevated
roles.
herself.
It's getting tiring. She's playing the same character over and over.
Over and over again. It's like watching Wednesday just guest appearing in all these films because that's what she's.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, after she survived Ghostface.
Yeah.
So
again, yeah. But yeah, good shout on Wolfman. I almost picked that one as my disappointment, but I did enjoy that more than Death of a Unicorn. That's why I chose that one. Yeah. But that's a good one because that had a lot of potential.
Tremendous.
So it's funny, we all think alike because I was actually going back and forth between Wolfman and Death of a Unicorn, and I'm landing on Death of a Unicorn because I'm going all the way back to when we talked about the cabin in the woods.
Yeah,
I wanted a fucking unicorn, man. My disappointment in watching this movie is the CGI unicorn I got is not what I wanted, but I had to convince myself to go ahead and enjoy this. Even though in the back of your brain, you're like, this is not the kind of, I wanted a pretty unicorn that, you know, it's fine if it goes dark, but doesn't need to get all Incredible Hulk on us. And the Wolfman, the same thing. There's parts of the Wolfman that was more enjoyable overall over Death of a Unicorn, which is why Death of a Unicorn lands as.
I agree. I agree.
I went backwards. I just realized. Sorry. and my surprises companion. So I mean, and you guys pretty much all said the same thing.
That tells you how awesome if we all three of us picked the same.
And I
film.
think we all agreed. We regret that we didn't go to the theaters,
Yeah,
catch us to the theaters to be able to go ahead and review it.
1000.
But yeah, so again, I'm gonna check back with us in another 4 months because we'll be 8 months in at that point. So summer's coming up. We got some big movies that'll be coming up that we're gonna be covering. Speaking of which, next week, JR and Rick are not going to be here.
Oh, hold
so-
on. I'm not. I might. I gotta see what my
right.
situation is. But you might see me. You might see me.
we might see him.
But
So
JR is definitely
JR will not be here next week for Bloodlines. Lexi is gonna join us.
The fourth corner.
The fourth corner will be there, and obviously we'll do our review, and then the follow-up. What I want to do is we're gonna place where this movie lands, because now we have 6 Final Destination movies, so that you get a good list because you have your top 3 and your bottom 3. So we'll find out where Bloodlines will land with the crew after we review it.
Acknowledging Roman Reigns. What's he doing?
Look up.
No, Sabu.
Sabu.
Oh,
R.I.P. Sabu.
Quick question though.
Good.
What movie that came out that you have not watched yet, but you're dying to watch?
That came out.
Yep.
Joe.
shit, I don't know if anybody. Come back.
Put you on the spot. Yeah.
Ash, actually, Ash.
Okay, Ash.
Yeah,
Rick?
I would say Hard Eyes. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna watch it this weekend though. But I'm gonna watch it. One question though, because we never really get to discuss it, or I wasn't here before we logged off. We talked about our disappointment for this year so far. Last year, do you guys know what your disappointment was for all of last year? Because I'll tell you right now, because I never got to talk about this, and I got to get it off my chest. Maxine was my biggest disappointment from last year.
I haven't seen it.
I fucking hated that movie. Oh my, you know me how much I love
Don't
Ty
keep
West.
going into it. I just said I didn't see it.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
But I hated it. I was like, oh boy, this is
My
so
biggest
fucking...
disappointment from 2024.
Yeah,
People are gonna hate me for this one. Nosferatu.
that's fair. If you listen, that mustache killed it for me, man. I just
No,
couldn't-
the ending of the
couldn't-
film killed it for me.
I cannot
Now,
get over it.
all right, if you haven't watched the movie, I'm gonna spoil it, the ending for you. If you watch the movie, you'll understand what I'm saying. When your girl tells you she's gonna sacrifice herself to save the world, and your ass runs down the block, Plague City and shit, trying to get to her, and you walk in the room, and your girl's butt naked with a vampire corpse butt naked on top of her.
Butt
You're not
naked.
gonna sit there, hold her
Yeah,
hand, and be
speak.
like, man, no, listen, no. You told me you're gonna save the world. You cheated on me. No, no. So for me, that ending kind of killed it for me. And the
Yeah,
fact that
That's
they
fair.
should have took that film and turned it into a 2-parter because they rushed the project. They wasted Bill Skarsgård's performance. And the poor guy went through a lot of shit to make sure he lands that role perfectly and does the role. And Lexi has actually her list right there too, as far as like her films there.
And
Go
Joe?
ahead and look at those real quick while I try to see.
All right, well, let me look at the comments. So yeah, that's fair.
Oh, and the film that I want to watch I haven't seen yet, but The Bayou.
Nice. Great. Sinners, Surprise, Hard Eyes. Not bad, but meh. The Monkey. I wasn't really excited for it, honestly, going in. That's why I wasn't disappointed in it, because I wasn't hyped for it. I don't think it was bad. I think people are a little harsh on it, but I could see why, it's if you don't dig the comedy elements, I can see that. It's not a turbo film, though. The Monkey was so Final Destination vibes. Yep, there sure was. Oh my God, is it just me and you, Joe? It might be, but you
Maybe,
never know.
maybe.
You never know. Sabu. All right. Yep. Oh, that's yours too, Lexi? Companion? Is that what you're saying? Rick, you will love Hard Eyes. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I was waiting. I was saving it for this weekend, so that's one of my weekend films to check out. JR, I saw yesterday The Four Corner. Yes. I forgot the name already. Forest Road. Was it 825? Forest Road? I saw it last night. I thought of you. That's why I saw it. Your review. But let me check it out. That's we'll talk off cam. All right.
No, it's one. Gotta say it because it's still. It might be one of your
I'm with
What do you-
GR. What are you with GR with? Wait, what's that?
No,
Right, Nosferatu.
what do you think about 825 of Forest Road?
I actually did like it. I think it ended abruptly, but I like how it took the movie and put it between three perspectives of the three main characters. Pretty cool. I haven't really seen that done like that too well. But at the same time, the con is because it did that, the movie didn't really push the plot forward at all to the end. But hey, listen, man, I dug it. I'm not gonna lie.
The mannequin look was cool. They should have did more with the mannequin.
I think it could have.
If they would have did more with the mannequin, people would have been like, "Oh, you're doing the same shit you did in Hell House with the clowns."
I
So
think
put
to me,
himself in
what
this-
ruined it was the mannequin scenes near the end. It was a little
Yes.
too much because I wanted less is more in case of movies like this.
Joe, have you watched that one yet, Joe?
No.
Check it out, Joe. Check it out.
I
Check it
know.
out. I'm curious to
Nah,
see what
check
you
it
think.
out. Check it out. It's another film though with the dad. Oh, actually, not a dad. It's different at
Keep
least.
telling me
It's
more about it.
No. At least it's a brother and sister. Nah, it's not spoilers. I don't do spoilers. Exactly, that got me too. He was just staring at her. Oh yeah, Nosferatu. Yeah, you're right. Yep. And the ending could have been done better.
Shit.
That's for Forest Road, I believe, because we saw it together. All right, Joe.
No,
Floor
it's
is yours.
bro. No, take us home.
Take us
I
home,
already-
brother.
No, you. I'm already done. I already said what I was gonna say.
All
Take
right.
us home, bro.
It's hard to do this and click it. That's why. All right, ready?
Yep.
GR, you good? All right. Well,
Good,
we'll
man.
see you guys next week. Final Destination Bloodlines. Let's hope it's. I can't stand the fact that they chose Bloodlines for a subtitle.
I know.
How
I know.
unoriginal is that? It's, considering the last Bloodline films was fucking terrible, that Pet Cemetery movie. So, according to you guys, I didn't see it. I didn't want to see it, but you guys hated it. So I trust you guys. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ricky Van, presented by Joe the Psychologist, and of course, joined by JR the Villain. Stay good, stay healthy, stay safe. Drink beer or water, ginger ale, whatever you got, or coffee. But most of all, yeah, I like that shirt. Stay scared. See you in the next one.